Help.
And we're live.
Whoa, we're live, guys. This is crazy.
All right, there we go.
All right.
We are live.
Welcome.
Now, welcome. Oh, welcome.
To the Haph-Ast podcast.
To the Haph, H-A-P-H, Ast, A-S-T podcast. Now, I like to say aptly named Haph-Ast podcast because just about every single thing we do, either on this podcast or off, is half-assed. Mostly because we just kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
Not too much planning goes into it.
There's almost no format yet, so it's just a lot of us just like, hey, let's talk about what we got going on right now. So.
Yeah, so right now I'm going to try to get the chat on my phone just to see if anybody's joining and wants to find out what's going on. But before we do any of that, I think we should introduce ourselves. So I'll let you go first, and then, go for it.
So I'm Joaquin. I don't know if you want to know my last name, Cuellar. I'll throw it out there anyways, whatever.
Sure.
I don't care.
It's all good.
Yeah, no one cares about me. But yeah, I'm Joaquin. I'm big on movies, video games, some comics, not a lot. Love sci-fi, horror, beer.
As you can see.
As you can see. I don't know what else.
Hobbies.
Hobbies.
Aside from that stuff.
Aside from movies,
yeah, I know.
and stuff like that. Off the top of my head, I honestly don't. I like to read. I guess.
Like long walks to the fridge.
Yeah, long walks to the fridge.
There you go.
Hand in hand with a nice warm. I don't want a warm beer right now.
Nah.
Cold beers.
Anyways, anything in particular you would want them to know about you?
I have a lot of brain farts. I can tell you that right now. So expect some of those.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I talk a lot. I'll probably go on a lot of rants every so often.
I think we both will at this point.
That's essentially what the show is going to be. It's just half-assed rants. So
that might have to be a series.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So there you go, Joaquin at Joaquin Phoenix on everything, or Walking Dead.
Joaquin Phoenix. I wish.
That might have been too loud.
No. What the hell are they called? Social media, like where you can find me, basically.
Yeah.
We'll recap this at the end of the show, but go ahead, shoot a follow. It's at the Walking Dead. What the hell?
No. I'm just trying to get the chat.
Oh yeah, so it's at the Walking Dead. Joaquin spelled Joaquin, dead.
Like
play on
name.
words, you know. But yeah, you can find me on just about everything: Twitter, Instagram. That's all you need to know for now. I guess.
I don't even have a Twitter, so I can't even say any of that stuff. But anyways, what's up, y'all? My name's Carlos. I am a video editor, graphic designer for Voto Studios. This is the set that they use for another podcast, but they let us borrow it, so we're just gonna use it because we can at this point. Let me think of like stuff I want to say about myself. I am a long time editor, artist of different things. People mostly know me for my drawings, illustrations, and my graphic design that I've done for businesses around town and in Fresno. We're basically like Fresno based, so if y'all want to know Fresno, there you go. I also brew my own beer, and that's one thing we'll get to. I have the last bottle of a homebrewed stout, which, did you say you tried it?
We had one, but that was
But we had a problem.
Yeah, that was
but
situation with that.
Hopefully this one redeems that situation, because there are some problems you can run into when it comes to home brewing. And obviously that happened. So coming Easter, I'm going to be brewing a mango saison. So y'all stay tuned for that. I know Joaquin's excited for that one.
Patiently waiting.
He's patient. Yeah, it'll probably be like a good month from when we brew till like it's all done and good to go. And I've already got so many people hyped about that one. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing. And I'm just getting a call, but I kind of have to stop that right now. I think she's probably watching. Oh. Anyway, that was my girlfriend. She was calling me, and she wanted me to say that I love her very much, and she loves me. So I got that out of the way. I don't know if she's watching, but if she is, there you go.
She wanted in.
No, she's working right now. She's probably on break, but she knows we're doing a podcast. So, what else was I gonna say about myself? I think that's basically it. Like, if you guys want to know more, you can let me know. I cook a lot. I brew a lot. I also read, but that's basically it. Like, if you guys want to know more, go ahead and tell us in the chat. Send us all your questions, and we will give you all the answers.
At least try.
At least try, yeah. So, what was the first thing we were going to talk about in this podcast?
I don't know. We just kind of like brought all kinds of junk just to kind of like.
Yeah, so we can kind of go down the line because I had a few things in terms of beer that I wanted to talk about, but Joaquin actually brought us some other beers that I didn't expect us to have on stream. So we have a lot of beer, actually. So we can actually get started with one of these. Like I said, I brew. He drinks a lot. So we both consume quite a bit of beer between us both. And I think we've had a good deal of beers. So much so that we kind of can tell what's good and what's not good. And I think we can get started with my homebrew.
Down with that.
Okay, so go ahead and tell them about my homebrews in the past, and then I'll pour us some stuff.
So let's see. The last one, I am terrible with the names when it comes to these. But
oh yeah, I name my beers, all of them, and I have labels. So I'll probably post some pictures about that on the Instagram.
I believe the first one I had was during one of his birthdays, and that one, there was a couple of different ones, I believe.
Hopefully this doesn't explode.
Oh, shoot.
You know what? This may have been a bad idea.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
Things happen.
Bad things happen. Woo! No. No bad things happened. That smells good. That smells like chocolate and coffee. This is a stout, by the way. It's a dry Irish stout.
Is that it's basically coffee one? Or?
Yeah, this one. So I called this beer, It's Basically Coffee, because it's basically coffee. It's just alcoholic coffee. That's really all it is. It's a very, very dark stout because I did add a lot more of the dark oats, but like the dark grains. Let's get you some in here.
Go ahead.
Like you can see by the head.
Yeah,
like
no,
that is dark.
Okay, so the incident with the other one, there was no head.
No.
Threw my phone on the ground right after, but
yeah.
But yeah, it was basically flat, unfortunately. But this one looks totally opposite of that, so totally looking forward to this.
Yeah, so this one I actually brewed like 2 years ago.
Oof.
And it's just been sitting in my parents' garage for this entire time. And I'll go every now and then and I would get a bottle, but I made so much of this, I didn't realize how much there was. So I actually went on Instagram and asked people to help me out to finish the beer because I had so much. And I'm trying to clear up these bottles because they are reusable bottles. And I need them empty so I can get the new stuff in.
I actually just brought one. So.
Oh, sweet. So, what do you think?
I love the smell. I haven't tried it yet. But.
See, this smells like a dry Irish stout. It smells like that normal coffee smell. It smells good, actually. Like, it doesn't smell that sweet. What you think? I always enjoy the smell of these.
It tastes a lot better than that other one. I can tell you that. Little bitter.
It is a little bitter. I really enjoy that though.
It's
not like a hot bitter. It's just like a.
You know what it tastes? It tastes like a cold brew, dude. Like that's.
I can see that. Yeah, you know what? It does taste like a cold brew. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had a cold brew that has that, like, flat, lingering, bitter taste.
Yeah.
That's what this tastes like. That is so weird.
Dang, you gotta redo this one. Just call it cold.
This one is really good. And I do like that I named it. It's basically coffee because that's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Like, it is carbonated. Really carbonated.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy. Like, the head is not like that nice foamy white color that you get in like a Guinness. This is some dark head. Like, it's brown. It is not like beige.
I see all them little.
Yeah, there's little stuff in there. It's probably just like the yeast and whatever other sediment. But I really like this.
Yeah, that one's actually really good.
I'm gonna kill this before I get to anything else though. But what would you want? Like, hey Carlos, I got this thing coming up. I need beer. Make me a batch of what the hell would you want?
Horchata. Nah, I don't.
It's like, wait, what?
Nah, I don't know, man. I've been digging a lot of sweet stuff lately. That Mine Haze from Firestone right now.
Is that an IPA? It sounds like it'd be a double IPA with a name like that.
Drank some. It's off the top of my head. I can't even tell you.
Sweet though?
Yeah, it's got a sweet taste to it.
All right. Are there any like flavors that you like in beer, or is it just like
an IPA?
Okay, or do you usually like basic IPA or like grapefruit IPA or pineapple IPA or something fruity?
I always go for a regular IPA. I don't mind the fruity ones, like some grapefruit one, or pick your poison. But
yeah,
I'm a simple guy, dude. I'd rather just have like a regular IPA most of the time. So
okay, yeah, I'm usually the type where I do enjoy the regular types if they're like extremely well made.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy like the really weird flavored stuff and the stuff with like well, almost like when you said horchata, the first thing that came into my mind was the Blue Moon horchata one that they made a few years back. And I was like, I don't know if I like that one, but me and my girlfriend had a conversation like, oh, now that I'm brewing beer again, because I took like a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah.
What would you want me to make? And one of the things she said was horchata. And I was like, I don't know how I would incorporate it into a beer, but I know it's something people would want.
Yeah. I would personally dig it. So,
do you have a favorite beer style?
Ooh.
Or do you have like a preference between light and dark beer?
I don't know, man. I would usually prefer. I would say light. More than anything, just a pale ale.
Yeah, pale ales are always good. I do enjoy.
If you want to call that light, but
it's lighter than most things.
Yeah.
I would say that's pretty light. I think I prefer dark beers, hence the stout. I think when it comes to light beers, I enjoy the light ones that are really hoppy. But again, I think I enjoy bitter beers more. And not just like beers that are bitter, but like the style called bitter.
Okay.
It's very like English style, very like English pub style.
The bitters.
It's freaking good. Like I really enjoy that stuff. I can have like 20 of those and I'll be good. Yeah, it's usually like the number I go to anyway, but I'm almost done with this one. It's
That's basically done.
It's basically coffee. Like
Yeah,
I have no other things to say. It tastes like a slightly more bitter, effervescent cold brew.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
But you'll know you'll get buzzed.
But you know, yeah, that's the thing. It is very low in alcohol. It's about 4% alcohol. It probably has gone up since then.
Yeah, no, that's probably a little stronger than 4%. I'll tell you that.
When I checked it when it was finished and I bottled it, I checked it because there's a way to test how much alcohol is in the beer. And when I did, it said about 4%. It was probably like 4.3, very low. So I was just like, I'll just round it down. I didn't expect to have freaking hella bottles 2 years later, though.
What you have on it? It was 4%, right? On the
label, yeah.
On the label, yeah. But no, that doesn't taste like 4%.
At this point, no.
No way.
Do we want to go into another beer? Or do we want
to? Yeah, why not?
Which one are we going in? Because there's that. Well, let's do this one first.
I'd say
because double IPA sounds a bit much.
Right after that,
to follow that.
Are you pouring that right into the cup?
Now,
no, I think I can just drink that out of the can.
We can drink it out of the can. I don't care. I just brought these just to show people, like if they wanted to see it. But hey, everything's half-assed here, so.
Hell yeah.
The real question is, am I gonna drink the whole thing? I'm down.
You more than likely, man. Me and my friend Michael actually picked these up yesterday. We had a barbecue yesterday, and easy drinking, easy living.
The life.
Yeah, life. Well, I noticed Sierra Nevada put out this drink called Sierra Vesa. It's basically an easy drinking lager. Do I have the box? I should have brought the box with me right here, but it was it said something about I don't even remember. That could just be their tagline, but it said family owned, operated, and argued over. So. And I don't even know if I've never noticed that. I guess because like most of the cans are dark, so yeah, I was like, oh, well, maybe they had a issue regarding making a lager.
If it's family owned, I could see the argues happening.
But I don't know if that's just them in general, like for shits and giggles. So excuse me.
Oh shoot! So this is just a lager, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what? I am gonna wash it out with a lager. I just always prefer my beer in a glass.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all are like that, but I definitely am.
Gross.
Got to do one for cleaning purposes. So this has a head on it. Massive head. It smells good. It smells like a Haph-Ast podcast, aptly named, like I said. So you had this one already.
Yeah, I had it yesterday.
So what'd you think about it?
I liked it. Obviously, it doesn't taste just like a normal lager, but as for something like a summer beer, I dig it.
Summer beer. A very summer beer.
Yeah.
All I need is like a lime squeezed in here and I'm good.
Oh, yeah, dude. Something citrusy.
Yeah. Because this is a very well-made, this is a very good lager. Like, it tastes like something. Unlike most commercial mass-produced lagers. But this is nice. This actually reminds me of one of... What's that freaking company? The one that does Lagunitas. This reminds me of one of the pills that they made. It was a very, very, very good Pilsner. And I had that with so much food. Like, I would buy that. This was when I was on like a what you call it. I was on this trip where I was just pairing food with beer. Because I had bought a book recently. I had it on my Kindle where I was reading about beer and food pairings. And I was just going crazy. Just like, what am I eating tonight? Fish. What does this pair with? A Pilsner. A white IPA. Something with wheat. It was like, and I got so many good pairings where I was like, it really enhances the food experience. Yeah. Like the food eating, the meal experience. And it was just something I did for a good while, but I haven't done it recently because I haven't really paired it, I guess. I usually just drink when I drink. Like, I don't try to
actually went on their site right now to check out the beer.
Okay. And
at the bottom, they actually have there's like the overview, ingredients, and food pairing.
Oh, yeah.
And right here where it says cuisine, it says Baja-style fish tacos topped with chipotle crema.
That sounds good.
That sounds good with this beer. Like,
that sounds really good right now. They do actually have what they used in the beer, which I find interesting. Because I have seen quite a bit of companies that do that, but I know some won't. And I not that I get annoyed when they don't, but I do like to see the ingredients used in the beer. So if I wanted to make it, I'd just be like, oh, I know what to buy.
Yeah.
I'll have to tweak my recipe a bit. But yeah, it's nice. It's light. It's crisp. It doesn't really have any off like fruit flavors that an ale would have. But this is a lager, so I don't expect that.
Brewing is as art as science, and all beer specifications and raw materials are subject to change at our brewer's creative discretion.
So basically, they'll change it whenever they want.
Which is essentially what we talked about with the Otra Vez.
Oh, man. So it's kind of good that we're talking about Sierra Nevada because Otra Vez was Sierra Nevada. Mm-hmm. Now, Otra Vez was a beer that they did. It was like a very summer beer. It was nice, crisp, refreshing, very citrusy, tart. It was made with, it was a Goes style beer, but it was made with grapefruit and cactus.
Yeah, no, I think it was basically said cactus, but I think it said like nopales, because that's basically what cactus is. But
yeah,
it had that distinct taste, and it was
so good.
It was probably one of the best beers I honestly had in a really long time.
Yeah,
and maybe I don't even know. It was maybe the following year or. More than likely the following year, but
yeah.
Excuse me. Sometime after, I had went to go pick up another case of it. Well, I didn't notice the actual case. I just saw the name. I was like, "Oh, well,
Otra Vez. There we go.
Let's get another one. Otra Vez."
Here we go again.
So I opened it up, and to my surprise, it basically tasted like I was drinking tequila, and I was totally thrown off by this because obviously, you know, you go from grapefruit and cactus straight to tequila, and you're lime and tequila basically.
Yeah.
And you're very, very thrown off by what the heck you just got.
Yeah.
But yeah, they essentially just changed the recipe, and for whichever reasons they have, you know, but
yeah, it probably had to do with like whoever their supplier wasn't able to supply them with that amount of whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it really did change the flavor, and I cannot enjoy that beer like I used to, and it makes me sad because the old one, I say it's a summer beer because it tasted like a very summer beer, like it's something you want in warm weather, but I would buy that damn thing year round because I absolutely loved how that thing tasted, and I would never ever get tired of that beer. Sadly, I will probably never have that beer again. But I'm glad I tried it when I did.
I want to know what's up. I'm like looking on their site again.
Yeah.
And it says Otra Vez lime and agave, a well-balanced tart and refreshing ale. And underneath it says, if you're looking for Otra Vez cactus and grapefruit, we combine the classic flavors of lime and blue agave nectar in the tart ghost style beer for the ultimate answer to the heavy heat of the day. But
it's not the same.
You're not. You know, it's like you don't explain why you took it away from me. That's what I want to know. But
yeah, I hate that. I mean, I understand that it happens because businesses go under, businesses fall out because they'll have disputes and whatnot. I don't know exactly what happened with Otra Vez as the beer. Like, I don't know if it was, again, one of their suppliers that couldn't supply them with what they wanted anymore, or they kind of just got tired of it. I don't know if it just didn't sell because Goes wasn't that big of a thing. Like, nowadays, sour beers are a thing, but I don't know.
I think just cactus probably, like, turned people away.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see people looking at the beer and be like...
But agave, on the other hand, everyone's going to be like, oh, I know what they use that for.
So this is one of the Mexican beers.
Mexican.
I hate when people say it like that too, though. Or when people say, yeah, well, that one, but like because we're from here, Reedley, a lot of people will say Reetly.
Reetly?
Like R-E-E-T. I can't stand that. Anyways. I'm
kind of guilty of it.
I find that so annoying. But what else? What else are we doing?
Well, I would say open up the other beer, but maybe we'll get.
We'll wait on that one.
Back around to that.
So what? You brought your movie, right?
Yeah, I brought a movie. We actually watched it last night. I right now it's starting to get warm again, and last year I bought a projector to screen movies in my backyard for friends.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so last year, we were watching like Point Break and Terminator and Predator and you name it, like any action movie. Well,
The classics.
As it was getting dark and like no one was like really there yet, we decided to put a movie on, and we decided to watch a Kino Lorber classic or studio classic, Jane Austen's Mafia. This is a 1998 flick by Jim Abrams.
Is it really 98?
Yeah, it's 98, man. I remember watching it as a kid, and I had no idea what I got myself into at that age, or even exactly knowing what a spoof movie was. I probably just barely getting into them.
This was like a first one then.
Yeah,
huh?
it's. I mean, most of the National Lampoon ones came before it, but yeah, it basically spoofs all of the mobster movie, the Scorsese mobster movies.
That's amazing.
Francis Ford Coppola's Godfather. It's when they was it like scenes where they kiss his ring in the movies?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they go to kiss his ring, and it's one of those little like little like.
Oh my gosh. That was like the Chuck E. Cheese prize rings.
Yeah.
It's like, I got hella tickets. What can I buy? Nothing.
It's just dumb jokes, dude. There's like, they're so.
That sounds amazing, dude. Okay, yeah, he saw this, and I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
Yeah. Jane Austen's Mafia, like
just that name alone, I was like, wait, what? Like, I honestly don't remember hearing about this movie.
It's. I mean, a lot of the jokes in there are dated. There's fart jokes. There's Forrest Gump jokes. Like,
yeah, okay.
There's this. You remember the scene? Basically, spoilers for The Godfather. If you haven't seen it, well, to hell with you. But
yeah.
The ending of The Godfather when everyone's getting like hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so they basically do that, and there's like a part where one of the kids killed, like one of the main characters of the film in this movie.
Yeah.
So he goes and you see a truck pull up, and it says Steven's Exotic Animals.
Yeah.
And it's basically the scene in the Lost World Jurassic Park where Peter Stormare's character is like lost from everyone, and the little tiny dinosaurs
the little compies, whatever they're called,
basically chew him up alive.
Yeah.
Well, they basically do that to a little kid in this movie, and it's like shot for shot. The same thing.
Is it the dinosaurs?
It's the little dinosaurs.
So they basically just like use the special effect. That's funny.
The kid jumps behind the log, and
oh my god,
there's just blood.
Was it like a river too? Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
It's dated as hell, man.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie just to like watch with friends.
That sounds like back when the spoof movies were funny.
That was like peak, dude. I think that was actually maybe before like the big one, Scary Movie.
Yeah.
I think that was 99.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just wanted to bring that up. There's a website where they sell, like old movies. A lot of them are classics. This was a really weird release for them to actually put out. Because I don't recall a lot of classics on there, or not. A lot of comedies on there.
Yeah. So, like, would this have anybody that people would recognize?
Christina Applegate.
Okay.
Most known for Married with Children. A lot of you might not even know what that is anymore.
Damn. Yeah.
Lloyd Bridges. Jeff Bridges' father.
Okay.
He goes balls to the wall. Leslie Nielsen in that film. Jay Moore.
Okay.
You see his face, you'll know.
Yeah.
Plenty of films.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like just characters, cameos from other actors.
The
I'd say.
usual
Yeah,
for a
the
spoof
usual.
movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Now, as you guys can see, physical copy. So Joaquin actually has a massive collection of physical copies of actual. Is it mostly Blu-ray at this point?
Mostly Blu-ray. I still buy like the occasional DVD here and there.
Do they still have like DVD releases?
Some like this company actually puts out like movies like that. Like that's a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a DVD copy of it as well.
Okay. Now, do these typically have special features that most things won't have, or
it depends on the release.
Okay. Oh shoot! I still got beer.
Yeah, it really just depends on the release. Like this one, I believe maybe has a commentary, the trailers, and just like sound options.
Oh, okay. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too big. It just like I said, it depends on the release. If there's like a high demand for a specific film, a lot of the times you'll see a lot of studios trying to, or like they get involved with the distributor of the Blu-ray, and whoever's putting out that Blu-ray will try and
like get some stuff.
Yeah, get like basically a definitive edition of that Blu-ray.
Okay, so like let's say they try to release this again like next year. Mm-hmm. Would they go back and like try to interview the actors or the directors to try to get extra stuff?
That's some things that they do.
Okay, see that sounds cool, and that's probably stuff I'd want to see for specific movies.
Yeah, like what did I just buy? Talking about it now. I just bought a copy of Waterworld.
Okay.
And that's another movie, like I guess basically I wouldn't say dated. It's a lot of people gave it heck for what it was at the time.
Yeah, no, I think wasn't that just like everybody was like, oh, it's just like
I think
Mad
it
Max.
was like a big million dollar movie that bombed.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Well, they gave it it's a company called Arrow, and they gave it a full-on like 3-disc release with there's a cut on there. It's called the Ulysses cut.
Okay.
And it's a whole separate disc to it on its own, I believe. I haven't like totally like dived into it yet because I just don't have the time. A lot of the time. But it's a whole separate cut of it that it's apparently a 3-hour cut of the movie that was specifically for the UK TV.
UK TV.
Yeah, like when they premiere a movie on TV.
Yeah.
And there's I don't know if you've ever watched like certain movies and you'll be like, I don't remember that scene at all, but you're watching it on TV.
Yeah, normally they'll have like the cut for TV because they have like the regular commercial breaks, and that's usually when they cut like the more rated R, PG-13 type stuff. So
it's basically that. It's like a 3 hour.
3 hours though?
It's like I think it's 3 hours and like 4 minutes or something like that.
Because if it was 3 hours on TV without any commercial cuts,
that's like a 5 hour like.
But
TV.
with commercial cuts, dang, that's like a long ass. That's a long release.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the stuff on there, and since their TV's a lot different than ours, and they they get to drop F-bombs and whatnot. Well, I think it turns that PG-13 movie into a rated R movie.
So how long is the normal one compared to a 3-hour one?
It's maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours at the most.
So you got like a good half hour of extra footage.
There's 3 cuts of that movie on that release.
Really?
And that's what I'm talking about. Like that's why I buy physical media, is because you don't get that with like certain movies. Like I'm wearing a horror movie shirt right now.
I got a normal.
There's a release of I believe it's Jason Goes to Hell, which is at the time before Jason X, like the final Jason movie.
Okay, yeah.
And he's not really in the movie, but apparently I haven't checked it out yet, but apparently a lot of people have been complaining that the cut on Netflix is one of those edited cuts, like a TV edit cut. And so I believe it's based. There's an unrated and like a rated, and then there's like like TV cuts. Well,
yeah.
if you were to buy like a Blu-ray of that, you're probably only gonna get one specific release.
Yeah, typically if you buy like a movie just at like Walmart,
yeah,
you're just gonna have the either theatrical release or the one that they normally would release for just like a movie they release to the general public.
Something big that was, I guess, in the like mid 2000s was the rise of all the unrated and uncut movies.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you don't get that anymore. Like you get maybe a couple deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lucky, a commentary, behind the scenes featurette. And a lot of the times it's bare bones. It doesn't really give you incentive to like buy a movie sometimes.
Yeah, most reasons I think people do buy movies is because they just kind of want to watch the movie that they saw in theaters again. Mm-hmm. But I do remember a good while where we would buy DVDs specifically for the special features, and I remember one of them being Spirited Away. Because Spirited Away had a documentary that they shot while they were making the movie. And it goes from like Miyazaki meeting with people, talking about the whole movie, how they want to structure everything, how they want everything to look. And then you kind of go from that part all the way to like production of the actual scenes, audio recording, coloring and all that stuff. Like it's real in depth. And we would go back to that DVD, not even to watch the movie. Like my sister, she was young at the time. She was born in 2001. And this was, I don't remember when exactly Spirited Away was released, but she used to love that movie. But we used to love all the background stuff, all the special features, and that's what we would watch.
That reminds me of, I just bought on Blu-ray The Devil's Rejects.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I for the longest time I've owned that on DVD, so I never really had like the urge to like upgrade to the Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. Well, I finally did, and I realized that the Blu-ray I had didn't come with. There was it's basically an hour and a half long documentary called 30 Days of Hell.
Okay.
And it's the 30-day shoot of the actual movie.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's all like background, behind the scenes with Rob Zombie, the actors, and just watching that, like stuff like that, that's what got me into movies.
It's like a whole nother movie.
Yeah, and it's something else to watch, and you see, what it took to get into the movies, or not get into the movies, but to
make the movie. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'm sure it's a Blu-ray. Blu-rays are supposed to store so much, data on the disc.
Yeah.
And it didn't even have that.
Yeah, and
so
I do have.
I shouldn't have upgraded my Blu-ray, and I gave the Blu-ray away, or the DVD to a friend.
Yeah,
and I asked her if I could just have that disc because I just want to watch that every so often. But it's stuff like that. Like that's why I buy my physical copies, because you get that. You watch a movie on Netflix and you get the movie. You
get the movie. That's all you get.
You don't even get the credits nowadays. It just cuts to another trailer.
That's true. And I remember back when like VHS were a thing that had special features. It was like you had to fast forward through the credits, and then you get like some special features, maybe like half an hour, 20 minutes. Sometimes, like I think on the Men in Black one, you got the
music video.
The Will Smith music video.
I don't even know if I probably got it like as an Easter gift or something. It was the Scorpion King, the Rock movie. And
wait, that was Godsmack, huh?
They had the Stand Alone.
I love that
at
song,
the end of the
shoot. That's
I was
dope.
an angsty teen at the time, and of course I was gonna watch that. Not gonna wait till MTV showed it.
Yeah, and I can watch it whenever I want. No, that's dope though. Like I personally don't buy any physical media in terms of like movies anymore. The only things that I have, like I told you, I have Akira on Blu-ray. I have The Exorcist on DVD. And I don't know exactly what cut it is, and I don't think it has any special features. I just remember buying it at Walmart because I wanted to watch the movie again, and I couldn't really find it on anything. And I mostly wanted to have it just in case. The Lord of the Rings, the extended Blu-ray edition, and this one has like 15 discs.
See, so that's like an entire library right there.
It has multiple discs of just straight special features. And to me, that's like a whole nother movie. So I'll go ahead and watch that. And it's fun. I do like to see that stuff. And one thing I do want to bring up is a lot of this stuff is stuff you cannot find on YouTube. Because if you look up like Lord of the Rings special features, or Lord of the Rings like behind the scenes, or Lord of the Rings making of, you'll find some stuff. But it won't be the same stuff that you can find on the special features of a Blu-ray or a DVD. And I remember we watched a movie recently. It was, I don't think it was Kevin Costner. I forgot who it was. But I remember Robin Williams was in the movie. He was that weird, crazy guy.
What was it about?
It was, shoot, I don't even remember. I just remember all the crazy stuff with him. He was trying to get this one girl. He was like this crazy dude, and there was somebody following him. He had to like go steal something from somebody. I don't even remember much of it, but okay, I'll say this. After we ended up watching the movie, it was a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but then me and Joaquin ended up watching the special features, and it was from Robin Williams' point of view of like how everything was done, talking about the director of the movie. And that was a trip because that's not something you normally get.
Was that 1 hour photo?
I honestly don't remember the name of it. I just remember watching it, and I thoroughly enjoyed everything about that movie because it was weird. It was quirky. It had some dark stuff in it. It was almost like not fantasy. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very.
Robin Williams?
Robin Williams is in it. He's like some crazy dude.
Oh, why is this slipping my mind?
Yeah, right see, I can't even remember what it was called, but I remember that, but I really remember the special features because they were talking about how the director does things, but Robin Williams was talking about his character, how he like wanted to play his character, how he wanted to portray that character, how he enjoyed the direction of the director and like what his vision was compared to Robin Williams' vision of the character, and it was just interesting, and it's something you don't normally see unless you have that like physical copy with the special features. Yeah. So that's one reason I do enjoy this, but unlike you, I'm not into that world, so I don't know enough about that stuff. But the other thing too is I don't think there's very many movies I would want to buy a copy of.
Yeah.
Because I have seen a lot of movies, and nowadays I'm not sure exactly what's released in terms of, again, physical copies. But movies like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, There Will Be Blood, The King's Speech, Watchmen. Like, I really, really, really love those movies.
And some of them actually aren't available on streaming,
which is a trip. Yeah. No, this is one that comes up a lot because me and my brothers enjoy this movie, Apocalypto.
Oh yeah,
it's like not in print at all.
Yeah, that's actually an out of print. I believe the last time I looked for a copy online, it was about $50 to $70 for. Yeah, I think just the DVD. That's
just the DVD. And I remember because we have a copy of Apocalypto. And somebody was looking for one recently, and I was like, "No, dude, like that's out of print. Like it's gonna cost you a good deal to get a copy of it." And he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
I think I was the one looking for it.
Were you?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wait, so do you have one now?
No.
Oh, then yeah, this is probably a conversation we had before. Do you want to move on to this one?
Yeah, we can check that one out.
Okay, you want to check out the live stream because I can see it, but I just want to make sure.
Oh yeah, you should have mentioned something, man. Which one is it?
Haph-Ast podcast.
I don't even know the name.
Just put Lord of the I just saw Lord of the Half. was like, wait, what? What the heck is that? Put Haph-Ast podcast. Lord of the Half. That's funny. Shoot. Let me see if I can do this. But anyways, that one right there. So actually, yeah, we're gonna move on to the next beer, and we'll probably get back to like movie stuff because that's basically all we do is talk about movies and beer. Oh no. Anyways, so we have this Port Brewing Company. Now, whenever I look at brewing companies like this, first thing that comes to mind is, are they from California? Being from California, we have hella breweries up here. San Marcos, California. So yeah, most beers I'll find in liquor stores or Bevmo or Total Wine out here. Mm-hmm. A good majority of them are California breweries. That's partly to do with so many brewing companies being from California and living in California. I can see that. We do get like bigger breweries like Dogfish Head and Riley's and I can't even really think of them right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the bigger brewery companies, we'll get some of that stuff out here, but a good majority of the stuff you can find is from California. And I find that everybody seems to be like, we need to do an IPA.
Yeah.
We have to do an IPA, and it's like, okay. So we have hella IPAs out here. If y'all like that style, cool. I think I'm kind of over that style now because I've had so many. But this is a double IPA, which is why I bring it up. I really like double IPAs. I don't think I've ever made a double IPA. I have made a regular IPA with Mosaic hops. I've made a black IPA for Easter like 4 years ago, I think it was at this point. The what?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Some malfunctions here.
Malfunctions, yeah. So this one's called Mango. It's like mango but with an O. I don't know why, because I don't think this has any mango in it. It just says double IPA. 8%. Sounds pretty good. Centennial, Columbus, and Simcoe, and Cascade. So we got 4 different hops, which means 2 things. Really, it means really bitter, and it means very, very aromatic. So we're gonna smell a lot out of this. It's probably gonna be very fruity smell, but it's gonna be bitter, like real bitter. Hopefully, being a double IPA, I can see that. But I'm excited for this because I've never had Mango, nor have I had anything from Port Brewing Company. Like, that's new. So, let's check this out. Mango double IPA. It's a nice color, though. Yeah, it smells like a hoppy ass beer.
Ooh. Whoa.
It smells like the typical hop, piney.
There's just like a mountain right in the center of your glass.
Yeah, I know. It's freaking head mountain. So what do you think about this? Have you had this one, or
no?
You
This
just
one,
bought this one?
I just picked it up, dude.
You're just walking in Save Mart.
I walked in the Save Mart. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Oh, that's interesting. Normally, what I would expect from a double IPA is something a little more hoppy.
Yeah.
This isn't as hoppy as I expected. Which means one of 2 things. They used 4 different amounts of hops, but didn't use that many. Or they used those hops, but much, much, much later in the boil. Mostly to get aroma. Because this is not that bitter to me.
No, it's not bad. It tastes like a really good IPA, but as for a double, I don't know.
I don't use this very often as a descriptor for beer, but it tastes very juicy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't taste like any particular fruit juice, but but it tastes like juice. I don't know if you get that, but I get that a lot. What the hell happened to your computer? Okay, he's just looking up the beer on the website so we can learn a little more about it. But
this is the single.
I get like a sort of piney, pine needle taste in the back. It's very, very strong on that flavor. It almost tastes like I got rosemary or pine and just took a big old bite.
Mango double.
It's not bad. I do enjoy it. It tastes very orange stone fruit to me, like peach nectarine. Like if you just took a bite and then had a beer right after.
more probably a nectarine.
Probably a nectarine. Yeah, I can see that.
Say peach, but
almost like canned pineapple juice, like a little dash in there.
Yeah,
that's what I get. I like this though. Like it's not that bad.
No.
Especially for a double IPA, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna feel this tonight.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to sober up before I leave.
Oh yeah, office. No, we're gonna be here quite a while. I like this though. It's not that bad. It's very. See, this is one thing. Like it doesn't mess with my brain because I know it's very hoppy, but it's not bitter hoppy, which I'm used to. So this is like a nice shake up of the normal double IPA I would typically have. See if you can see the chat, but I don't know. I enjoy this. It's a lot more pine heavy than most double IPAs I'd have. That was me. But what do you guys typically enjoy about a double IPA? And what are your favorite double IPAs? Because I can't think of any off the top of my head where I'm like...
A double IPA?
I want that one again. Because it's not a go-to thing for me.
What was that one we got last time? Or was it a double?
Which one? We used to have another channel, by the way. So this is our first time doing live streams. This is our second channel because we used to have another channel, which I don't know if you can find any episodes, but if you can, go ahead and find them. The channel was called Of No Use because everything we did on the channel was of no use. It was just
a very useless show.
Yeah, it was just entertainment for the sake of entertainment. But in that channel, we did a lot of beer reviews, and we did a few IPAs if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
there was a 7-hop IPA.
What was it was the one that we got that was double and just didn't taste good. I think it was just a bad batch.
Oh yeah. We did have the XPA, and we did have a bad experience with some of those. I don't remember the IPA.
I blame Save Mart though.
I blame Save Mart too.
Our local, I think just in general, Save Mart does that though. They put out expired beer, and it's just...
I don't think they put out expired beer. I think they put out beer and nobody buys it, and they don't bother to check. And I see this is
they have expired beer out.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, sure. This is one criticism I have of beers that aren't liquor stores. Like if you're gonna sell something, and they sell a lot of different types of produce, so I can understand where the confusion can come in. But if you're gonna sell a certain product, you should know when that product's best, when it goes bad, and when you should pull it off the shelves. Because if you don't, somebody's gonna go in and have a bad experience like we did, and just be like, "I ain't going here for my beer no more."
Yeah,
or whatever.
It took a lot of will to eventually go back to Save Mart and buy some beer. Like I picked this up at Save Mart today. Like,
yeah,
it's not bad. It's good. I'm sure
it's good. Now let me see if I can find a age statement on it.
2 years old.
6/18/19. So we got a few months.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. The thing with, and this is one reason I really like Stone Brewing Company, is they have certain IPAs where it's like drink by March 30th.
Some have the little chip on the date.
Yeah,
on the label, huh?
Well, they'll tell you when it was made, because in terms of longevity, IPAs are much better younger because you get much more of that like hoppiness. So the longer they stay on the shelf, they do change in flavor and they do kind of get milder as the time goes by. But this was probably made in the last 2 months. It's fine. I know. The more you know. Yeah, I like this one. And if we ever do come across certain Stone ones, we're gonna have to buy them. Oh, Stone used to have a chocolate IPA. Okay, I'll tell you guys this. If you guys ever get a chance, I don't remember what it was called. If y'all ever get the chance, you buy the chocolate IPA. And here's why. It tastes like drinking an IPA, and then the taste becomes like a chocolate stout. Ooh. It is the weirdest thing ever, but it is one of the most enjoyable beer drinking experiences you can ever have. And I absolutely enjoy that. 6-pack cost me like $25.
Did it?
And I was like, I'll do it again. It's so good. Shoot, I'm trying to think of like the most expensive beers I've ever bought. I've probably paid like a good $20 for a single beer.
Oh, I wish I had.
But that beer was worth it. It was worth it.
I went to
Cinema Swigs. I forgot about that one too. We've had 2 channels. Yes. This is our 3rd channel.
Damn, dude. I told you I brain fart all the time, and I totally forgot about that.
Me too, but we that channel had much shorter of a life than of no use.
Yeah, no, that one we just got busy. Like,
yeah, like that's the only thing that stops us is like something happens in our schedule where we're like, I can't make it this week, and then the week after that, can't make it this week either.
It's a bad cycle that it'll stay for a while.
Yeah, so this one we're determined. So we'll keep this going, but let us know what you guys want to see. As far as what we want to talk about, it usually comes down to 2 things: beer and movies. Like, okay, I'll say this. I'll tell you guys why it's beer and movies. Beer, mostly because we drink beer. I make beer. We like beer. And I think we know enough about it and have tried enough to be like, oh, this tastes like this, or this is a good version of this. Like this double IPA, it's a very piney version of a double IPA. It's not very malty. It's not very sweet like other ones I've had. It's a good, nice, juicy, piney IPA.
So I'm going through. I don't know if any of you have heard of an app called Untapped.
I think most people that are in their beer have heard it.
Yeah, and it's just a way to check in a beer to see if you've had it. And I'm looking at like.
I totally forgot about this. Anyways,
and I'm like looking for the specific beer act. I think it was more than 12%. It was basically a liquor. I paid I think like $16 for like a glass like that big.
Was it a beer?
It was a beer. Yeah, it was on tap. Like
how high alcohol was it?
There's one Lil B. That's
Lil B. Dude, do you remember the Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Little D.
Little D.
Oh, that's so stupid. Lil B.
Worldwide Stout Dogfish Head, 18%.
I can see that coming from Dogfish Head.
Yeah, that was little glasses.
Worldwide Stout?
Yeah, glasses about that big, pretty small. Oh, it was a good one though.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really good night actually. The bar that we went to, they host movie nights, and they had a Pulp Fiction night.
Oh, nice.
Well, the entire...
Is this in Tower?
Fulton.
Fulton, okay.
This was before they opened up the street.
Oh, okay.
Damn, what the hell was the name of that place that I had?
Is it still open?
No, it closed.
Peeves. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they had a movie night where, they changed up the whole menu. They served $5 shakes, Royale with cheeses,
Royale with cheese,
blueberry pancakes with maple syrup.
That's hella dope.
Basically any $5 shakes. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Basically,
Royale with cheese.
Any food mentioned
in Pulp Fiction,
was on the menu that day.
That's a freaking good idea.
And it was cool.
I wonder if they chose Pulp Fiction specifically to do that.
I could see that. I don't recall if they did that with other films, but I think that was maybe one of the only times I went to a screening there.
Royale with cheese.
The way he says it, a Royale with cheese.
Is that the Big Mac? Or is that, what is that one? Quarter pounder with cheese?
Yeah, because they don't have the metric system.
Oh, these freaking losers.
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but it's called Le Big Mac.
Le Big Fancy.
And then he goes, what do they call a Whopper? I don't know. I didn't go into Burger King.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I was saying that's why we usually talk about beer, but why do we usually talk about movies? Why is movies such a big topic for us?
Because you can drink beer while watching movies.
He's not wrong.
I love movies.
They usually go hand in hand with us.
Yeah. You can go to just about any theater now and buy a beer.
Which is the best thing ever, because every time I used to go to Mexico, there's a
lot about this.
There's theaters down there. There's like a certain chain of theaters called Cinépolis, like Cine or Cinepolis. So like movie city basically. So Cinépolis had the normal theater area, and then they had a VIP area. Now, the VIP area had its own little lobby. It had its own little like seating area, and it was nice. It was like a fancy restaurant. And then they had a bar essentially in there. So you can go to the bar, order alcohol, and then you can order some food, and they had some pretty good food. It was like normal movie food, but better. And they had a lot of Mexican food because it was Mexico. And they had pizza and like hamburgers and all that stuff. It wasn't as good, but you had alcohol, so it didn't matter. Now, when you sat down in the seats, the rows were not normal. Mind you, again, this is VIP, so the theaters were a lot smaller. The seating wasn't as much, but the seats were basically like a leather couches for two people.
Oh, wow.
Like, it wasn't normal movie seating. It was literally like just a leather couch for two people, and then a space, and then a leather couch for two people. Like, it was, I don't remember how wide it was. It was probably like 4 or 5 of those wide, but they were freaking wide. Like, you had some space. And then in between both people, there was a little thing that can come in and out.
Oh, just like the kind of like a
now catch
tray
this.
or armrest, sort of kind of.
It was more of like an armrest kind of thing. Now on either side of those couches was a little table that swivels in and out, so you can eat your food. You had a little lamp like right by the armrest, so if you needed a light, you could just turn it on, and then you can see everything in your area.
Oh wow, dude.
That's not even the best part. The best part was you had a little button. And the little button was there for you to call a waiter. So you can call the waiter. He'll go to your exact seat. And then he'll take your order. And you can order anything in there. You can order any of the alcohol, any of the food. He'll take off. And then he'll bring it right back. I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And you know what movie? You know what the last movie we saw in theaters was over there?
Bolt.
We saw Bolt in theaters.
I remember you telling me about that.
It was... That movie was alright, but...
You got a John Travolta movie on the big screen.
Yeah, I don't remember what other movie. Oh, Spectre.
Ooh.
Spectre was another one that we saw.
See, I feel like I might have enjoyed that more, like, on a big screen. Despite its, like, where the movie went.
You know what's funny, too? Is like a year before Spectre came out was when I went to Mexico. It was maybe a year or two. I don't remember. And I was in Mexico City. I was in the square with the helicopter scene. Not with like all the stuff when he's on the street, because I'm not even sure if he's in Mexico City when he's doing that. I don't know if they shot that there.
They probably just like, yeah.
But the scene with the helicopter in the square, like the main city square, I was there like a year before that.
Oh, wow.
It was dope. I don't even know if they shot it there. It looks like they did, but it could just be CG. But I was like, I was there. I was tripping out. I seen it. Yeah, my tia took us there, and then we went to go see the pyramids. But that was dope. I really, really enjoyed that. And it was fun watching that movie in Mexico because the first scene in that movie takes place in Mexico. It was just a trip. Do we want to try this? We might want to hold off. Anyways,
I was staring at that all day.
So I'll show you guys. I'll pull this out. Oh crap! Oh, so this, if y'all can see, you can see now. This is what's called tepache. Now, everybody knows me as the dude who brews beer. Because everybody's like, you brew beer? That's freaking crazy. Like, what? You can do that? Yeah, you can. It's not that hard. Just freaking Google it. Like, I learned, like, I was telling somebody, like, somebody asked me recently, like, how'd you learn how to brew beer? You know how I learned? In high school. There was, you remember tutorial class?
Yeah.
It was basically like a free period in high school. And I ended up reading this newspaper that had a small little article about brewing beer. And it was like, there's 4 main ingredients in beer. You got the hops, the water, the yeast, and the malt, or the barley, or whatever that freak they called it in that, the wheat, or whatever, the barley.
The barley.
And I was like, that's it. That's all I have to get. That's all I need to make beer? Really? So I started Googling it after that, and I started watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos about people making beer, and I was like, this is freaking easy. Like, I can just buy that stuff now and do it. So I don't remember how long after that I ended up going to this brew store we have in Fresno. Shout out to Ben Como's. And then I just bought the stuff and made a freaking beer. And I was like, this is so easy. Like, why don't people do this? Because people say, oh, yeah, man, I love beer. Drink it all the time. It's like, do you though?
They're talking about Bud Light.
They're talking about Bud Light and Miller and Coors and all that stuff. But it's like, hey, this is one thing. This is one problem.
I do like Miller.
Yeah, this is one problem.
I like Miller.
See, I'm not going to knock them if you like them. But I'll say this. If you say you like beer and that's the only stuff you drink, that's like saying you like juice and only drink apple juice. You don't like juice. You like apple juice.
Yeah.
So if you like those beers, you don't like beer. You like lager. Not even that. It might just be American lager. Because if you try like a German lager, you're going to be like, what the freak is this?
My favorite people to chuckle at are like people that say they like craft beer.
Oh, goodness.
And they only drink 805.
I knew you were going to say 805 too. Especially here in California. Like, oh man, let's get some beer. What do you want? Oh, let's get some 805. It's like, dude, come on. Like, is that the only thing you've ever had?
It's not my personal preference. It's not a bad beer.
It's not a bad beer, but
I won't drink it.
It's not the best. Like, I've had stuff and it's like,
if you have a better option, why don't you drink that?
Go with the better option.
Don't just like, ooh. But I mean, to be fair, man, like, I'll buy a 12-pack of PBR. And I know there's better beer than that, but
see, that's why I'm not gonna knock those beers, because they are made by the standard at which they're made. Like, they're made to taste a certain way. And I see that. Like, most lagers, like the one we just had.
Yeah.
It's a very light, crisp, refreshing, neutral lager. That's what it's supposed to taste like. Ales are what I prefer because ales usually have like a more fruity, I would consider a much more vibrant taste. Like, they have much more going on in them.
Yeah.
Those lagers, I can see why people enjoy them. So I'm not gonna knock them for that, because if it's something you like and it's something you enjoy, especially like malt liquors, I'm like, I can't do that. But if you like it, go for it. You have something
out to the homie Sven.
Shut up. Hey man, can you take me to Valero so I can get some King Cobra?
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, like I don't want to knock people for their taste, because I understand why they like what they like. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if you like it, go for it. But what the hell was I saying right now? Why were we talking about? Oh, so I would make a suggestion to people. If you like lagers, try craft brew lagers. Try pilsners. Try
Zorro from Tioga.
Zorro is really good. I totally forgot about that one.
Dude, shout out to Tioga Sequoia from Fresno.
Like the biggest beer company here, like the biggest brewery.
Honestly, I would say so, but
we should have had one of theirs.
Yeah, I screw the pooch at Save-Mart, but
anyways,
they make a excellent lager. I try and like show it to friends, coworkers as much as I can, because I feel like that's that gateway beer into the rest of their library.
It's a much higher quality version of what they typically drink,
Yeah.
which is why I think it's a good one. But they also have Tamarack.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Tamarack is a Märzen style lager. It's like a more smoky, woodsy, dark lager. We used to go to this pizza place because they had it on tap for like...
Right.
They used to have pictures of it for like $5. And it was the only place we can get it that cheap. So we used to go there specifically for that. And then we'd play pool for like a good 2 hours. Just buying pictures of Tamarack.
They don't have good beer there anymore?
Dude, no. That place is not worth it unless they have that. But they don't have it anymore.
We're not going to say who.
We're not going to... No, screw that place. I don't like them. But if you guys ever get it... I'm sure like people can get it across the country, because I think Tioga Sequoia... It distributes far enough to where people all over the place can get a hold of it. If you guys have a chance, check out Tioga Sequoia. I would recommend Tamarack, the Zorro or Soro, the Fox. It's a lager, right?
Yeah, that's just a simple lager.
A simple lager, basic lager, really good though. I think their most well-known one is probably the 99. Which is a golden ale with honey, and it's pretty good. It's I'd say that one's pretty light. It's pretty basic.
That was, I think, the one that really got me into a lot of their drinks. The 99.
Yeah.
Since then, though, one of my personal favorites is the Half Dome.
Okay, I'll say this: I've been to the brewery multiple times. When I say that, most people have only been to the beer garden since it's made. I've actually been into the brewery, like, and taken tours with the people that actually make the beer.
Oh, wow.
And have been given beer personally by those people. And I'll say this. They had a few experimental beers that nobody's ever tried. Mm-hmm. They had a wheat cherry beer that I had. Oh my gosh. That thing was absolutely amazing, but they have never released a cherry wheat beer, which trips me out because it was so good.
I think dude, what was the?
All their beers, I'm gonna say, are good.
No,
like
yeah.
At this point, I'm gonna say all their beers that I've had, absolutely amazing.
Probably one of my, and it's not just because they're so close to home. It's every beer I've tried from them has been a quality beer.
Yeah, I'm slightly biased because I have been there and been given beer by them and then been taught a few things because I was trying to open a brewery and a restaurant recently in Reedley. And that didn't go well, but I do have a slight bias for them. I'm going to say my favorite is probably the double dry hopped. Is it double dry hopped or is it just dry hopped? It might just be a dry hopped IPA, the German Shepherd IPA. That beer like blew my mind when I first had it. It was dry hopped. I want to say double dry. Anyways, it doesn't matter because that beer in particular was my first like deep delve into beer after a certain point because I was like, I didn't know beer could taste this good.
Chocolate?
No. This is an IPA. This is a dry hopped IPA. They also have Rush Hour, which is a which is a coffee stout. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's so good.
That one has different. What do you call it too? Though, like
different versions.
Different versions.
Yeah, because
it was the coffee distributor.
Yeah, the coffee distributor might have changed at this point, but that beer, if you can get a hold of it, Rush Hour coffee stout bomb. They also have a Sugar Pine vanilla coffee porter. Woo! My goodness, dude, if you can get a hold of that, oh, that's so good.
Sugar Pine was great.
I think I might buy one of those for my girlfriend because I think she'd like that.
Hella Ninja.
Never heard of that one.
It's a lager they have that's Japanese
rice ninja. Dude, that might taste like acai or those Japanese beers. Have you had like Japanese beers?
I've had like the
like Orion, the Asahi.
What's the other one? Starts with an S.
Sapporo, yeah. I was like Sakura Chaya, but that's
Sapporo. Dude, this just turned into like a whole shout out to Tioga Sequoia right now. The Joaquin Murieta.
Dude, oh my gosh, I forgot about that beer.
Okay, so
yeah, this is basically like a commercial.
I don't just like their beer because obviously, Joaquin Murieta.
Joaquin. Yeah.
But that's a chili pepper beer, and they use Fresno chilies in the beer. And dude, if you want a beer to go with some tacos, that is the beer.
Okay, so on our old channel, I don't know if it was Cinema Swigs or Of No Use.
It was, I think, when we had the tacos.
Did we have tacos?
Was it?
I'm not sure if we had tacos on video, but what we did...
We've done this before.
We've done extensive scientific experimentation with beer and food pairing. But it specifically, we did an entire video on Joaquin Murieta, which is a chili pepper... I'm not sure if it's an ale or a lager, but I think it's a lager. It's a chili pepper lager, so it's a spicy version of a lager, which most people have had. Like, it's so freaking good. If you have it with spicy Mexican food, you'll be like in heaven. Like, you'll probably want to die at that point because you'll be so happy. Now,
it's a golden ale.
It is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's an ale, but it's very, very good. Now, they also do a cucumber, which is a cucumber ale.
I remember this where we mix the...
Now, if y'all are Mexican out there, there's certain traditional Mexican snacks that we have. One of them being cucumber with a sort of flavored chili powder, tajin. I don't know if you guys ever... Tajin, however you guys want to call it. If you guys have seen it in a store, because I'm sure there's people out there that don't know how to pronounce it.
Just regular chili powder with salt too.
And lime. So you just have cucumber, you slice it up in like rings, and then you put tajin on it, like the chili powder, and then you squeeze a lime on it or a lemon.
I want to run to the liquor store right now. I want to
bomb. Hot day. It's perfect. Once you like done playing outside, because that was like a thing we had as kids, because my parents would be like, y'all need to eat healthy. So cucumber with chili powder and lime. Perfect. And if y'all go to like a remate or like a Mexican cherry auction or Mexican, I don't even know what they call them anymore. Just like an open air market. You can probably find some of that stuff. A flea market. I don't know why I couldn't think of It's probably because all the beer. But
Yeah.
if y'all can find that stuff, eat it because it's good. Now, cucumber is basically beer that's been fermented because it's a beer, but it doesn't taste like a beer. It tastes straight up like cucumbers.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to separate the flavor from the beer. But what we did was we did an experiment where we added a lime to the cucumber, and it made the beer so much better. Like, it's that, like, classic taste you want from, like, a snack.
But yeah, it very much a snack. Like,
oh, yeah, it's very much a snack.
dude, what's,
Let's see if I have any more of this.
there's like, I know I like poured out.
This is actually a really good beer. Like, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, we have more in the fridge.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like half tempted to run over there and grab some.
Anyways, so yeah, so what we did was we took this Fresno chili pepper ale, golden ale, and then we took this cucumber pilsner. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a cucumber beer, and then we mixed them, and then squeezed in some lime juice. People, y'all need to listen real quick. If you have a chance to get Joaquin Murrieta beer and a cucumber, what you want to do is you want to mix those even parts, if I remember correctly, and then squeeze in half a lime, and you'll have yourself one of the most refreshing Mexican beers of all time. And if you have tacos,
do they still make
woo, I have no idea. I hope they do, because if they don't, I'll be sad and I'll cry probably. But if you ever get a chance to have any cucumber beer and any chili pepper spicy beer, y'all need to mix that up and add some lime. Because if you don't, there's something wrong with you. And you need to try it so you can see how good it is.
Yeah.
Because my goodness, that stuff is so good.
So wait, what exactly was in this again? Because I feel like that was the tangent that we like.
That was the tangent, and then we started talking about,
like I said,
Tioga Sequoia.
We said at the beginning of the show, half-ass rants. So.
Let me turn it real quick.
It kind of looked
because it was bubbling like crazy.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it the top of the show, or I not excuse me, not the top of the show. Before the show, when I walked in, I saw the jug, and I genuinely thought it was like one of those snakes in like that like fluid or whatever.
Like snake whiskey?
Yeah, no. I mean, dude, snake.
We need to get some of that and try it on stream.
You maybe want to play Red Dead Redemption or not Redemption, Revolver. Remember Whiskey Pete?
Anyways,
no, it looked like, you know when people buy those like little
the jars with
like
a snake whiskey.
Steak whiskey, yeah.
Or like whatever whiskey, whatever. Yeah, but, it's basically an animal preserved in a spirit. Now, this in particular, it's funny because I had this thought right now. I was like, dude, it looks like Lawrence of Arabia. Because it's got like the whole little thing. This is essentially like a cheesecloth. Now, what this is as I explained to my brother, and you might want to smell it just to see what it smells like.
Oh my God.
So what this is it's called tepache. Now, tepache, as I explained to my brother, because he walked by and he's like, can we eat this? Because he saw the pineapple. What it is it's essentially like a traditional Mexican pineapple wine. Now, what it is, it's not the pineapple itself. It's the pineapple peel and the pineapple heart. One thing I've been into recently is like nose to tail eating. But this is like nose to tail eating with a pineapple. Because normally people just use the fruit, right? They'll just like cut it up and use it in something or make like
exactly.
Freaking upside down pineapple cake or whatever. Pineapple upside down cake. This is what you do with the leftovers. Because typically most people won't use the peel. This is the peel and the heart, which most people don't use. They'll just toss it. And it's like, why? You can use it. My parents actually told me about this. Me and my dad usually talk about alcohol because we both really like to drink, and not like to the point to get drunk. Like we both enjoy alcoholic drinks. Like we just enjoy them. We enjoy the flavor and whatnot. This is something he told me is a traditional Mexican preparation, which you basically just get the peel. You get piloncillo. I don't know if you've ever seen piloncillo. It's like a cone of hard sugar.
Oh yeah,
Like you find them at like Save Mart or like other stores.
I always saw at the flea markets and whatnot. Like
Dude, speaking of flea markets and so you take the pineapple peels and the core. You take some piloncillo. You take some cloves. You take some cinnamon. So it's a slightly spiced wine, and you just throw that in a bucket or not a cantarito, but like a ceramic clay pot. You throw that in there traditionally, and then you'll fill it with water and just let it ferment, because there's natural yeast in the sugar. There's natural yeast in the fruit that will ferment the sugar in the fruit and the sugar from the piloncillo, and then you'll have this alcoholic drink. And as you can see, and you can probably see this, they can't. There's all this bubble action going on.
Right underneath the pineapple, there's just bubbles just kind of like surfacing to the very top.
That's all the fermentation. Like I said, I brew a lot of beer. This is not beer, but this is something I've been wanting to try for a long time. And now that I have a few large jars, this is about a gallon jar, I'm able to try different stuff like this. And we probably won't try it on stream, but I think I'll bottle it up so it turns into like a beer, like it ferments and carbonates like a beer, and then we can try it on stream next week.
Yeah, I'd be down for that, dude.
Because I just kind of wanted to show this off. Like, there's a lot of easy stuff you can do at home, where if you just go to Walmart, go to Save Mart, go to any local store that has big glass jars, you can pretty much do this at home, and you'll have a really, really nice, refreshing, fruity drink. Just in a week. What's that?
Oh no, I'm just like.
Oh yeah, go for it. So yeah, like there's a lot of stuff you can make at home. Like you don't have to just buy all your beer. You don't just have to buy all your drinks. Like you can really DIY a lot of the stuff you drink. And I don't think you have, but I know a lot of my friends have done a lot of home brewing. And they really enjoy it, but I don't think they do it to the level that I do, because I usually try to do it.
I feel like you do it like a lot more often than like most people I know. Actually, my friends' parents, they used to do before you really got into it.
Yeah.
I know they had what was it? They made a Janis. It was like the label was like Janis Joplin.
Okay.
On it, and I forgot what it was, dude. It was so long ago. This was like, honestly, probably before I was even 21.
Yeah.
But
okay,
they like,
sure.
I think like they gave me a bottle. It was really good. I remember that, but
Okay. What was it? Like, do you know like what type it was?
I couldn't tell you to save my life.
Do you know what it tasted like, or?
Dude, like I said, it was like way before I even had like.
Was it good though?
When I had it, yeah. Like,
okay.
I remember it being good. Like that was.
And see, that's one thing I remember my dad at least like letting me try what I was drinking when I was young. And growing up, like sometimes I'm like, dude, this tastes disgusting. Like, why do you want to drink this, Dad? But there was some where I was like, okay, this is good. I can understand. But yeah, growing up, this wasn't a thing. Like brewing at home,
heck no,
wasn't a thing. But as I get older, it becomes more of a thing, and it seems to be like a trend. Home brewing, microbreweries, at this point, Pico breweries, craft brew in general has become a thing, and then become a meme. My brother,
we need swirly mustaches, dude. Like that's
my brother. I saw him. He sent a meme to a friend, and it was like the last thing a craft brew sees before it like gets drunk, and it's just all these dudes with massive beards. I was like, it's a good meme. So what's it called? What the hell was I saying? Anyways, tepache. Yeah, this is just something I'm gonna be doing at home. fermentation in terms of like food is probably going to be something I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a lot more. Have you ever had kombucha?
I've been told about it. I've had a swig of it.
You've had a swig of it, okay?
And it tasted very almost like pickles.
Okay, see, here's one thing too, is kombucha reminds me of sour beers. If they're sour, a lot of them.
You know what? Yeah, like that's what I got out of it without the alcohol, the flavor of alcohol, I would say.
Yeah, because most won't have that much alcohol.
Yeah, well, I guess it was just like does kombucha have alcohol?
Kombucha
Is that like a specific thing? Because I've seen like it on sale like at stores.
Yeah, kombucha usually won't get more than 1% alcohol. If it gets like more than that, then they have to like.
So it's like no duels, like.
I forgot about duels. Yeah, it's basically duels. It's usually
like
more for
or something.
It's essentially a probiotic. Like what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the yeast or bacteria or whatever it is that ferments. You're trying to get that in your body because it's typically good for your body. Like you want that stuff in there. Like there's certain bacteria you do want in your stomach.
Yeah.
And like the rest of like your small intestine and whatnot. That's one way to get it. And I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. I typically enjoy the more fruity ones. But if you can get that stuff, I'd say go for it. Give it a shot. It's like beer without the alcohol and much fruitier.
Yeah. But like you said, it tastes like a sour.
Yeah, and me and my girlfriend really, really like sours. I myself enjoy most things on the sour side. My sister too. My sister's real young, but she loves sours. Every time I buy one, she's like, "Can I have some?" And I'm like, "This is illegal, but sure."
Hook it up.
Hook it up. But yeah, no. That's one thing I'm gonna be doing too. So every time I brew kombucha, whatever that freak you say it, I don't even care at this point. I'll probably throw some stuff in there and then I'll bring some. Oh, and one other thing I'm brewing specifically for my dad is ginger beer.
Ooh, yeah, I remember you.
So I have a batch brewing at home. Brewing. It's fermenting because it has hella sugar in it because I'm trying to get like a good 8% alcohol in that thing. But I have that brewing at home because my dad absolutely loves Moscow mules. And I want to get some ready for Easter. So when we celebrate Easter, he has a good amount so he can make Moscow mules at home. Because typically when Easter rolls around, I just chill at home, make like 3 tri-tips for my family, and just chill. Like I really don't do much that day. But that's mostly what I'm doing it for. But in terms of like stuff that we're going to brew for the stream, is there anything you'd want to see? Is that my phone? Or is that you? Anyways.
Who cares? I
Yeah.
think I accidentally screenshotted something. Pineapple's good. I don't know what else, to be honest, dude. Something peachy, though. I don't know if that's even possible.
See, this is one conversation I had with Zach recently is like, I absolutely love peach and things. And he doesn't. I don't know why. That food's on crack. But peachy, like a beer?
Yeah, or even a beer. Something like
this? Like a fruit wine? I could see it happening.
I was hearing the ding, dude. And like...
I think it's my brother's computer, but
okay.
I don't know. I don't think they'll pick it up on stream. Okay, so something peachy. Something... And we got a lot of peaches out here. We're in like Central California. And we got farms all over the place. Oranges, peaches, nectarines, plums, pomegranates. Yeah, I think that's my brother's computer, but yeah, dude, we have hella stuff out here. It's ridiculous. Like and see, here's a weird thing too, because I've been, I'm not gonna say all over the country, but I've been on the West Coast. I've been on the East Coast.
Man, I've been everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I've been everywhere because I haven't been. But fruit gets expensive out in those places, dude.
Oh,
like,
dude,
oh
I
my
believe
gosh.
it, dude. Like,
We were in Chicago, and because we're alcoholics, we were looking for limes and lemons to like mix drinks. Dude, oranges were like $5 out there.
oh hell no!
I was like, this place is crazy. And we couldn't even find limes, I think. And the limes we did find, we were like, dude, these are freaking old. Like, what the hell's going on here? Y'all in the East, I don't know where you get your fruit and veg from, but I don't trust it. Because I've been out there and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this quality. Mostly because I have it around me all the time.
Yeah, dude. Central Valley living, man. It's easy. You want some cherries? You can get some cherries. You want some strawberries?
Dude, have you ever had white cherries?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Oh, we had these. I don't know if you've had them before. I wish I was sober enough to remember the name of them. But they were these. They were these cherries. We actually, I don't know if you heard about it, but and I don't even know if I should explain it. But we went to a speakeasy.
Where?
In Tower. It's called the Library. And I'll tell you more. I don't want to like say it on live because it's supposed to be more of like a kind of, obviously it's a speakeasy. It's supposed to be kept a secret, we went up basically upstairs to this bar, and it was supposed to be like throwback, old fashioned, like to like the days of like Prohibition.
Oh yeah, a speakeasy.
Yeah. So they served us. I forgot what I got. It was called blood and sand or.
Blood and soil?
No, blood. No, it's. I don't think I got it, but I think
they're white nationalists.
Oh my god. It was
blood and something.
It was blood and sand. It just all the names of the drinks just sounded gnarly as hell. So they had these like cherries in them.
Okay.
And for the life of me, I forgot the name of them, but they were like these like. Probably the best cherries I've ever had in my life, dude. But
were they maraschino cherries or were they tart cherries? Because I don't do maraschino cherries because I'm a human and I don't enjoy that stuff.
Those are the ugly...
The sweet ones. No. The like sweet red ones. Okay.
The bright red ones?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
And if you like those...
No, these were like these...
There's something wrong with you.
These were these like dried up, puny little things, like maybe about that small.
So they're like cherry raisins almost.
Almost like it was like dry. It tasted almost dried up, but like when you threw it in your mouth, dude, it was like.
But were they like soaked in alcohol?
Maybe the guy said you could buy them at like any like Bevmo or Total Wine.
Okay, then they probably were. They were like cocktail cherries. But anyways.
But yeah, dude, like you went on about cherries, and I wanted to bring them up because. Honestly, I never had one of those before.
I don't think I have either.
And the way we got, I'm going to try and get us all in there again. But those cherries, dude, we ordered drinks just to get another cherry, basically.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, that's cool. Does that place still exist?
Yeah. No, we just went last week. So,
we might have to go there.
I got an email about like. Or this past weekend to go, but things come up and
for sure.
But I really want to try again next week. So maybe if you're free next week,
we'll check it out.
They want you like formally dressed too. Like
fancy.
There was people up there not dressed that way, and screw them. But apparently, like that's the way.
It's like a thing.
Yeah, so I was like
I don't want to go dressed.
I was like dressed all nice in white. Like
I'll go in a suit.
And I was just like, dude, I want to not dress to impress, but I want to
play the part essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was pretty cool.
That sounds cool, dude. That sounds dope. Like I'd want to try that. Maybe we could do a freaking stream from out there. We do on location streams. Let us know if you guys want to see that stuff because
if they let us.
that's true. We'll have to I have a feeling we can.
Probably not, but
Maybe not. I don't
they
know.
didn't even want you to have the cell phones out like while you're in the bar. So
See, I can see that because they want to like keep the atmosphere like old school, speakeasy, like go talk to people, damn it, kind of thing.
Like, I mean, we'll
see.
Talking to each other, but
If not, we'll just talk about it like on the stream next week. But should we start wrapping this up?
Yeah, more than likely. It's
okay.
We're pretty deep.
I don't even know how long we've been going because my computer is way over there that we stream off of, and I don't feel like going back and forth. So,
talking smack, man.
talking smack. Any closing statements or any things you want to tell people about?
Not much, man. Aside from thank you for watching. If you tuned in at any point of this. You hopped out, hopped in, we appreciate any of it. We'd love feedback. If you guys want to hear something specifically to talk about, let us know. We can maybe discuss it. I think we're supposed to talk about was it the new Godzilla trailer that just dropped?
Well, we'll talk about it next time.
I don't even know if I want to talk about it next time because I've watched enough trailers.
Okay. We'll talk about something.
We'll talk about something.
We'll let y'all know.
But we just, let us know what you want. If something just came up, let us know. We'll talk about it. If you have a topic, I don't know, vaccinate your kids. If that's what you want us to talk about, hey, we'll maybe spend 15, 20 minutes on it. Or
vaccinate your damn kids.
Don't vaccinate them. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, let us know, man, who we're...
Anyways, let us know what beers y'all like so we can try them. Go ahead and comment, send us a DM. Like, we're not out of reach. We're just random-ass dudes.
Yeah.
Really. Like, we're nothing special.
If you want us to...
Movie suggestions. Okay, so I'll say this real quick. One thing we do want to do is do... our versions of movies, if we could reboot a franchise or do a sequel to a franchise or prequel, how we would do it. And I think one thing we want to do is dissection of a scene in a movie.
Yeah.
And I think
scene
and or scenes
about that. But.
Yeah. And then I think one thing I would find interesting is what makes, like, we'll take a movie or a scene and say what makes it good. What makes it bad? Technically. Not just like as our own personal...
I mean, I would say it's probably our own personal, take on it. But
yeah, but it could be like certain scenes are very influential. Certain scenes have changed cinema.
Yeah.
Those aren't really things we can have a personal opinion on in terms of how it's objectively changed things. But I think there are certain things we can talk about how well it's done, how it's changed things, how it's so important. Just things in general. Yeah. And then, obviously, beer, because that's what we're going to do. So let us know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys want me to brew, and we'll do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because we honestly have no idea what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, no. I'm very confused, but if you guys can like the page, comment on the page, subscribe to the page. Any little bit would help.
Like, subscribe, hit that bell. I have no idea when we're shooting next time, but we're gonna try to do this every week.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how long in length, but we want to give you guys content.
Good content. Half-assed content.
Half-assed content.
Anyways,
sober, not sober.
Mostly not sober.
You've probably noticed from the beginning of you
pretty much
just watch me just the whole however long I've probably
y'all have seen how things are going. but
we'll be better. We'll be better.
Anyways, that's first week, first episode. So let us know how it went. Let us know what you guys want to see. And that's basically it. So
we're out of here.
We're out. I'm going to go to the computer and turn everything off. So Joaquin's on his own. Sing him a song or something.
I don't want want like copyright issues.